Hi, friends. I'm Zach.
I'm Mitch.
And we are an excellent little podcast.
We are here presenting you a little movie podcast starring Zach and Mitch.
Wait, we're doing a podcast?
I don't know why you keep asking that question, Zach. It's just all a bunch of hocus pocus.
You're right. It is just a bunch of hocus. Wait a minute. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
We're going to do this twice. No, we won't do this twice. This is the second of Hocus Pocus. This is Hocus Pocus 2. We've been waiting 29 years for this.
Yeah. Directed by Anne Fletcher.
And screenplay by Jen D'Angelo, with story by David Kirshner and Blake Harris. What did you think about our director, screenplay, and story?
Okay, so the director, Anne Fletcher, I was going to say...
You want me to look it up?
Yeah,
look that up
absolutely. Because I know there were some films that I just can't think, but... Because the last one was directed by Kenny Ortega, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was.
I'm going to say this right now. I feel like her directing style in this one was so much better compared to the first one. Because it had so many... Because obviously Hocus Pocus was considered a dark kind of comedy. Okay, thank you. My secretary got that taken care of. Yep. So The Proposal, Step Up, Hairspray. Oh, yeah.
Quite an eclectic bit.
Yeah. She's done a bunch. But yeah,
The Pacifier. Oh, and she did This Is Us too? Oh, That's why I know her.
So, I liked her directing choices in this film a lot better than Kenny Ortega's.
I love Kenny Ortega, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I feel like she set such a really nice level of like dark Halloween ambiance to this film, more so than the original. Like, I feel like the originals was like 90s Halloween. This is like dark, moody reboot Halloween, but it fit. It really fit it well.
But the screenplay, Jen D'Angelo, story by David Kirshner and Blake Harris. So again, I like the screenplay better in this film. It had just so much comedy in this that I never thought I wanted in a Hocus Pocus 2, because the first one was pretty funny.
It was funny, but it was dark too.
Yeah, it showcased the three Sanderson sisters beautifully, but also not underutilizing the rest of the supporting cast.
Yeah, no, and I also liked how this movie really made it its own. Like, it is a continuation of the story, but that's what it is. It's a continuation, not a, look, it's the Sanderson sisters. Yeah. Look, they can sing. Look, oh my God, it's the old... No, it's its own story, and I love it. It really sets it apart from its own while paying homage correctly. It's so well done.
Brief summary. Thank you, IMDb. 3 young women accidentally bring back the Sanderson sisters, or shall I say sisters, to modern-day Salem and must figure out how to stop the child-hungry witches from wreaking havoc on the world. I'm sorry I had to.
Oh my God, sure.
Zach, how do we split up the episode?
We split it up a little bit differently here for our newbies. So we're going to go ahead and start with our non-spoiler section, which we give our first thoughts and we talk about the cast performances and any non-spoiler things that we want to talk about. And then we move on to our review, which once we get there, Mitch will gladly explain and talk about the different categories of how we review movies. And then we'll move on to our spoiler section, where we talk about the all juicy details of all this wonderful sequel. Mitch, I kind of brought up, what are your first thoughts of Hocus Pocus 2?
I so love this film. I can't. The more I talk about it, the more I'll go into spoilers, but I'm just going to say it right now. I enjoyed this film. Loved it. Mwah, chef's kiss. Thank you, Sanderson sisters, for coming back. Yes, Salem, well, back. I can't. But yeah, I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. I love the original. I didn't immediately grow up with the original. I would say I was introduced to the original kind of around my college years. Okay. So I didn't really grow up with it, but I fell in love with it in college. So when I came to Disney, I really found a real love of this again. And the fact that it's now in full force in the point of a sequel. It's phenomenal. The Sanderson sisters, both Bette Midler, Kathy Najimy, and Sarah Jessica Parker, really step back into their roles. It's as if like they've never left these roles. They were phenomenal. It's such a wonderful story with wonderful characters.
Yeah, speaking of the sisters, Bette Midler as Winifred Sanderson, or Winnie, as Mary likes to call her. It's like she never left.
No, it's literally it. Yes, the age does show a little bit on each of these actresses, but oh my god, like it's a genuine continuation of these characters, and Bette Midler is. I feel like when you come for Hocus Pocus, you come for Bette Midler, and she brought her A game again.
Well, from what I understand, she's been wanting this sequel for a long time.
I feel all three of them have.
Yeah, but mostly Bette Midler.
Mostly Bette Midler, probably.
Well, because she admitted later that she had the time of her life on the first Hocus Pocus. She loves working for Disney. She loves the characters that she portrays. She just loves the Hocus Pocus lore, and people still come up to her and be like, "Oh, we loved you as Winnie,
as Hello Dolly and stuff." But she's like, "No, talk about Winifred. I want Winifred."
No, oh yeah, that's right. But man, I thank you for coming back. Number one, and number two, thank you for not just coming for a paycheck.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people in these legacy sequels just do that, but no, she played her role beautifully. I mean, with the teeth and all, and the hair.
Teeth, all hair, all, and emotion on this one. Yes. I think that she brought so much more emotionally to Winifred Sanderson in this one than she did in the original. The original was a great introduction to the character. This one's a character dive, if anything.
A lot more character development.
Oh, love it. But another person that I really also love was Kathy Najimy as Mary.
Shh. No. I smell children.
Oh. I mean, my child is laying down on my bed right now. Jazz is cute.
There's gonna be a lot of these throwbacks.
I'm not gonna let you eat my child. How dare you?
I can't. Oh, see what Kathy Najimy as Mary Sanderson. Again, loved it. She was great.
Yeah, and might I say, she looks phenomenal with her weight loss. She lost a lot of weight, she looks phenomenal. For her age, she's wonderful. Yeah. Oh my god, her comedy is still on point. Every single callback that she played well, but also had really wonderful new jokes. You see in the trailer, I love her skating on Roombas. I thought that's hilarious.
Well, because it brings back
because she used a vacuum in the last one. Vacuum. But no, she's gonna use Roombas in this one. She uses them to a T. Love her, absolutely love her in this. And then one person that we also kind of want to bring up is the new blood. So we do have three new protagonists in this one, but I feel like the main one comes down to Whitney Peak's Becca. I feel like she's the main person that we really focus on, and I thought that she was actually a really welcome addition to this. She's kind of the edgier one of it, but she adds such a wonderful human aspect and a really wonderfully relatable character. She's a teenager, but a really relatable teenager, and I really enjoyed her.
I liked her more than the Max Dennison character.
Yeah, I do enjoy him more than Max, I admit. Yeah. Max is a bit more Disney Channel protagonist, I admit. Like, I feel the original Hocus Pocus is like stereotypical Disney Channel, where this is more, I feel, a little bit more Hollywood.
Oh yeah, I would agree. But I'm going to say this now. Whitney Peak as Becca was better than the original three heroes in the first film. Okay. And that's not including Thackeray Binks, the cat.
Yeah, I feel like Thackeray Binks is an outlier for that cast. But
she, I think, she literally throws those three in the water. Yeah. Because she was just wonderfully done, had the perfect hero attitude throughout the whole entire film. Just great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We can't say much because spoiler.
But the next person, me and Mitch actually kind of disagree on a little bit. So Mitch, since we technically talked about our 3 people that we really enjoyed unanimously, technically the next category goes to the friends that we really did not enjoy. Mitch, who did you not enjoy in this film?
I didn't enjoy Sarah Jessica Parker, Sarah Sanderson.
Really?
So Sarah Jessica Parker to me strikes me as this I know everything actress because I watched a documentary on the new Sex and the City reboot, and she was bossy, she was micromanager, and her performance wasn't bad in this film. I just preferred her performance in the first one more than this one.
That's fair.
I will leave it at that.
Okay. All right. Well, to be honest, I think she stepped right back into the role of Sarah really, really well. She plays the ditz really, really well. And she has actually a little bit more human element in this one. She's ditzy but caring in this one, and I really, really enjoyed her performance in that. I think she really kind of delved deep into that, which I really, really enjoyed. But yeah, that's our cast.
Yeah, that's the cast. Now it's non-spoiler stuff.
Yeah, let's continue into our non-spoiler. We head back to Salem, which I thought was really, really nice. It was a nice way to look at modern Salem. I know that they did shoot a lot on location in Salem, Massachusetts, which was really kind of fun and nice.
Yeah, that was nice.
I thought having the Halloween Fest grow even more into a bigger thing than just being City Hall, I thought was kind of nice. Like having that setting kind of grow, I thought was a really nice touch to it too.
Yeah, I would agree. The setting just very wonderfully done. Really, it didn't feel like, because I remember the first one kind of felt like, it's just like being filmed on the back lot. But this one, I'm like, oh, they're there and they're filming. But I gotta say, the music in this film,
yeah,
so good.
there's more music in this film than the original Hocus Pocus for sure.
Yes,
but I really enjoyed each and every number that they added and did. And I'm not gonna lie, whenever you come for Hocus Pocus, you're like, okay, where's that I put a spell on you song,
and now you're mine.
So they don't do I Put a Spell on You in this, which might be a little bit to the chagrin of some people. They do a different song, but I feel that it does just as well as I Put a Spell on You.
Yeah, I would agree.
For a second, I was doubting it, but then once they got a couple bars in, I was like, oh no, this rocks.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal. And actually, So I feel like I Put a Spell on You is kind of a little bit more Bette Midler and Winifred Sanderson's song. The new one, yes, is still kind of that, but they showcase a little bit more of Sarah Jessica Parker and Kathy Najimy in this new song, which I really enjoyed. Might I also say, we kind of alluded to it in the screenplay and the story, the plot is also a really big thing that I really loved in this, where I really enjoyed just how, yes, the idea of the plot is the same. The Sanderson sisters are woke and they're doing a magic spell and we got to stop them. That's the plot. It's the same as the original Hocus Pocus, but they change it up enough to the point where it feels like it's a different in its own movie. It's a different spell. It's a different set of characters. And they go about trying to tackle the Sanderson sisters differently, which I really loved.
Well, there's also different stakes too that we won't get into, but I feel like the stakes in this one were more believable, in my opinion, compared to the other one.
More personal, honestly.
Way more personal.
Way more personal, which I really, really enjoyed.
But I think the question on everybody's minds, does this live up to the original? I say yes.
I agree. I still like the original more, admittedly, but it is on par, I feel, or just below it. It is of the same caliber.
Okay. So, there's our non-spoiler section. We've entered the review section. Now, how we split this up. We have 3 categories, but we also have 2 phantom categories.
Yeah, but we might at least stick to the 3. So what are the 3, Mitch?
Oh, the 3 sisters? Well, you have Winifred, you have Mary, and you have Sari. Sari
Sanderson. So you have Sarah Jessica Parker. I mean, Sarah Sanderson.
So the 3 categories of the review.
Yes, that's what I would like, sir. Thank you.
I'm sorry. What a day. So the 3 categories for the review are: feed it to the dog, meaning we did not enjoy it, but you still need to see it so you can form your own opinion and get back to us. And if you like it, we will question your ethics. The middle category is needs to cook a little more. Maybe a change in director, a change in script, a change in other things, a change in maybe some food or Halloween candy or something like that.
Maybe a little alcohol needed. Who knows?
Yeah, which there's a lot of Halloween candy in this film. It made me hungry. So remind me, Zach. I need a candy apple.
Oh,
later.
gotcha. I will.
And the other one, ate it up. Meaning we enjoyed it. We definitely recommend it. You need to watch it on Disney Plus because that's the only place you can see it right now. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah,
I ate it up.
You ate this up?
I ate it up like
yeah?
like a s'more, like a candy apple, I ate this movie up. I can't describe how much I ate this up. It was such a good movie. I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, I ate it up too. I had a smile on my face the entire time. It's a wonderful nostalgia trip in the sense of, again, it continues the story. You feel like this is totally in the same universe as the original Hocus Pocus, and we are moving forward and continuing on, and I loved it. Mm-hmm. I completely loved having the 3 original Sanderson sisters coming back, because I feel that's the heart of a Hocus Pocus movie is them. I feel like if one of them wouldn't be able to do it, I feel like you don't have Hocus Pocus. So I really loved having them back. So the magic was back, and the new cast was wonderful. I loved them. So yeah, this movie was fun. Ear to ear, ate it up.
Mm-hmm. All right, Zach. It's spoiler time.
Can I sound the alarm?
Wait. Sisters?
Sing. Wah! 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 Spoiler alert!
I was actually hoping, because you remember at the first one, before they get hanged, they're like,
but
that'll work. It's fine. Welcome, my friends. Now, if you still stayed on, but you want to leave now, please like, subscribe, and email us at elpodcastmz@gmail.com. Thank you for joining us. But for those that are staying, welcome to the spoiler section.
Ha ha ha. So we are officially in spoiler territory, so we can finally talk about all the wonderful Easter eggs that are in this movie. You flat out see the movie in it.
Yeah,
like
pretty
they
much.
flat out like have like the devil and wife scene literally in the movie. That's one of them.
Well, it was a nice little because it was a gay couple that was watching it too.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, that was nice. And
that was fun.
Well, and Winifred looked in, and she looked, and she was like, "Oh,
that's nice." But I have to say, the amount of callbacks from even the amuk amuk amuk. Mm-hmm. I loved it so much.
And the "Come Little Children" song.
"Come Little Children" from Mother.
Yeah.
From Mother sang it. I loved that.
Yeah.
Another little Easter egg that I really also did love was the whole idea of the salt circle being a comeuppance. But I loved that another callback, because Mary Sanderson originally wrote a vacuum in the original. So, like we said, she rides Roombas in this one. The Roombas had a purpose.
Yeah, they did.
They took down the salt circle.
Yeah.
They helped them escape. I was like, yes. Oh my God, I love these Roombas.
Well, and you finally find out Billy, Winifred's ex-boyfriend, they didn't actually date. They just had a kiss.
That is it. And also another callback that I also really, really loved was the fact that Right, was the fact that Billy actually didn't go to sleep.
No.
They didn't put him back to sleep. He tried. He just like, whoop, and went back into his casket, but he didn't actually go to sleep.
No.
So he's been awake for these entire 29 years.
Oh,
I feel so bad for the guy.
I did too.
But another way that I thought that was really wonderfully connecting originally to the original movies, while the character did not show up in the original movies, evidently the character that takes over the Sanderson house saw the witches and their comeuppance. He saw them explode and goodbye.
Bye-bye.
But he was like, I want to bring them back.
Yeah.
So it makes him want to be a warlock, and he takes Book and takes care of Book and remakes the candle, and that's how they come back. So I thought that was a really wonderful way of alluding to the original while continuing on the story, because that was my big question: is the candle's burnt. How do you get them back? Well, that's how you get them back.
And also, this movie actually brought in a nice backstory for the Sanderson sisters, because they've always been by themselves.
Yeah.
And the way that they have it was, Winifred has always been in charge.
Sure.
She's always been looking out for her sisters. And she loves her sisters. She does.
She does.
Even though she picks on them a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So she turns down a marriage proposal when she's really young.
Yeah.
I think she just turned 16.
Yeah, it's her 16th birthday.
And
which is the day the witch gets her powers.
Yeah, well, was it the town priest or something like
yeah,
that?
well, the priest is the one that makes the matches, and then I don't think that he made a match with his son, but he made the match itself, and she very much disagreed with it.
Yeah, and she kept denying it. She kept saying no, and then finally the priest threatened to take the sisters away, and then there was a spider involved.
Yeah.
And then they run to the was it a forbidden forest? I can't.
Yeah, I think it's the Forbidden Forest or the Dark Forest or something of that nature.
And they run in, they're alone, and then all of a sudden,
come little children, I'll take you.
A witch shows up. And that's where Winifred meets this witch, and the witch is like, you have power. Literally, that's almost exactly word for word she said.
Yep, and she gives them Book, and that is who they refer to as Mother. Throughout the entire first movie is that is who started their coven, so that's who they see as their mother. So really kind of cool way to kind of give us context and then really kind of go into like just how close they were to move into how this story goes. But one way or another, I'm going to bring this song up. That's the song that they take in is One Way or Another. And oh my God, I love this interpretation of One Way or Another.
The choreography was spot on.
Spot on. And they did a really great job of weaving in the incantation from that they put into I Put a Spell on You, the In Kamakoriyama. They did a phenomenal job of interweaving that with One Way or Another and having a purpose for this song too. It's not, okay, Bette Miller has to sing, so here we go. They organically get them to a stage because they know the look of the Sanderson sisters, so they intermittently get into a Sanderson sister contest, lookalike contest, and they lose, which I find is so funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
Even when they call themselves the Originals, which I thought was so funny. But great way to introduce the stage. But then the original I Put a Spell on You was a way to keep the parents in one location, so the parents can't try to get the kids.
Right.
This spell is to get the priest, or in this case, the descendant of the priest, which is the mayor.
To go and find him.
Which I was like, that is a good way to use One Way or Another. I'm gonna get ya.
Yeah.
Literally,
Well, and then they go and try to find him, and the crowd finds him.
Yeah, just really slow.
And then and at first I'm like, oh, they're gonna take him to the sisters, but then all of a sudden they disperse.
Because they achieved their goal.
They found him.
Congratulations.
And they took his candy apple too.
They did. Oh.
No, but yeah, one way or another was a good addition.
A really good addition to the repertoire. But
right.
Shenanigans ensue. We go through the entire point of grabbing all this stuff and whatnot is so they can escape the curse of the candle.
Mm-hmm. Meaning they want to live past sunrise.
Yes, and their way to do it is through a forbidden spell in book, which is the Magica Mystica.
Yeah, and the book...
Or Mortica, or something of that nature, of where, like, you become the most powerful witch.
And they succeed.
They do, which I love. I love that they actually succeed at it. It comes at a cost.
And the cost is you lose something that you hold dear. Kind of like a la like...
The Soul Stone?
The Soul Stone.
Yep.
And we're all thinking, everyone's thinking this, like, what does Winifred Sanderson value more than anything? Her sisters. Mm-hmm. And it's literally an Infinity War
moment. Yeah,
yes.
they dust.
Sarah and Mary are like going, and Winifred, and the emotion that Zach, you mentioned, like Bette Midler is like, oh my gosh, my sisters, like she even said it, like, don't leave me. And they leave, and I'm like, oh no.
So I have a little bit of a fan theory for this. I genuinely think this happened to Mother.
I think so too.
I think because Mother was like, you do not use that spell. Mm-hmm. That spell comes at a cost and it hurts. Mm-hmm. And I think she had it, and she's like, I used to have a coven.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened. She casted that spell. She lost her coven because of it. Uh-huh. And the same thing happens to Winifred. Mm-hmm. And almost like poetic poetry, like
she goes to
the three main characters,
the three girls,
and Becca is like, okay, so she casts a spell because she becomes 16 on this day and becomes a witch, and she's like, and
nothing happens.
She's like, what happened? And then all of a sudden she starts to dust, and she's like, I can't bring them back, but I can bring them to you,
or you can go to them.
Yeah. And
the look on Winifred's face was like, maybe this is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like, even though I can't survive past sunrise, I can't be all powerful, but I can be with my sisters. And she goes away, and as she goes, she calls for them again. I'm like, oh, chef's kiss.
Beautiful, man. Chef's kiss.
But then
we got a post-credit scene, y'all.
I mean, it's a Disney movie.
So throughout the movie, we continually have the black cat motif show up, which...
It's not Thackeray.
And all of us know it for who have seen Hocus Pocus. It can't be Thackeray because his soul came at peace. He left.
Yeah.
But it's like kind of played like, oh, is the cat someone we know or something?
Right.
But then we see that black candle was not the only black candle that was made.
Yeah, so it sets up a possible third film.
Which I'm not going to lie, I would look forward to it. I would be excited for it, but the third film should be the final. It should be a trilogy, and that should be it.
I can picture where they could go with the third film,
I could too. And I kind of hope that they... I'm not going to lie, I hope we get some legacy cast members more back. I hope we get Danny and everybody back, and Max and Allison. Oh, Allison.
Oh God.
But I would love to see the original three back, and maybe see the three with our new three work together to banish the witches once and for all, or have them live a life without magic, or whatever.
Right.
Whatever the final thing be, it should be the final thing.
One quick thing, and then we're gonna end this. So we thought the Disney 100 logo was gonna be ahead of this film. It is not.
It is not.
But I like the logo.
The logo was fun. It was nice.
spooky. So we lied to you on the D23 episode where we thought,
sorry.
Yeah, but hey, it's not our fault.
No, I thought that's what they were going to start with, but I guess not.
I think they're starting next year. So.
I think to be honest, what I think they're going to start with, they're probably going to start with Strange World.
That might be it, yeah.
It's Disney's first animated film of their 100 years, so I think that's probably where they're going to premiere it.
Yeah, but, we're not talking about Strange World. We just
That's for a later video,
yeah.
so...
Video?
Well, yeah.
We'll give it up.
But
until that time.
Well, until that time, we would love you to subscribe, because we really do enjoy you, and we love that you're listening to us. So please,
before we sail away,
please go ahead and give us feedback or anything that you like, or comments or questions, and email us at elpodcastmz@gmail.com. That way we can hear from you and we can interact with you, because we really do want to talk with you, and we really do want to find ways that we can interact with you. And we have a couple of ideas on the table that we can't wait to share with you. But until that time, I'm Zach.
Sisters, I'm Mitch.
And we are an excellent little podcast.